about that as well. So we hope to see you there. Before we get started, I wanted to kind of like loosely go over some of our upcoming events. We do have all of our events on our social media and on our website, so feel free to check it out. Tomorrow we'll be holding a community gathering. It's called Haiti on Our Mind. We will have Dr. Leslie Alexander, Charlotte Lucine, and Eugenia Charles from WPFW in a conversation about Haiti and Haitians and their impact in the United States. For those of you that have not been to this community gathering, we've been gathering here at Sankofa for starting June last year. We've been doing it bi-weekly, every other Sunday, and we started with Gaza, creating a space for all artists to come together and sing their song of solidarity to the people, with the people of Palestine, and all donations collected would go to supporting WPFW, our radio station who's been highlighting this issue as well. So we continued on doing that, and so far we have highlighted Gaza, Haiti, Congo, Sudan, and we'll keep on doing that. So if you are an artist in here that would like to come and perform, please feel free to come talk to us, sign up, or go to our website. Monday, starting 6 p.m., we will have a clay making arts event outside. On Thursday, we will have Dr. Alea Brown in here with a presentation titled We Gather at the Edge, Contemporary Quilts and Black Women. It's going to be a great presentation as well, starting 6 p.m. We have many more events coming up. Thank you all for listening. Please help me welcome Nubia Garima to the stage to introduce the students.
All right, good afternoon, everybody. So I'm super excited to be here with my amazing students. These students are students at the historic Paul Laurence Dunbar. And we like to always start with historic because it is a historic school. For those of you who don't know, Dunbar High School was the first public high school in America for African Americans. And it was founded in 1870, which is, you know, you could think of the context of that time. And so I have the pleasure of being an educator at this very historic school. Thank you. So I have been there for now 10 years, which is insane. I know, I'm very proud of myself. Thank you. I've been there for 10 years, and I've in a variety of roles. I came as a classroom teacher, and I'm now the assistant principal at the school, so it's a very special place to me, yes. Very special to me because of that history. As I shared, it is a very historic school, and my sole reason for going there was really because I was inspired by that history. I wanted to be a part of a school that was historic and claimed space in like ways that we were historically denied. So it's a beautiful place to be, and since I've been there, I've had the pleasure of really helping honor that history. We actually made one of our school values Sankofa, because how can you? Yeah, it's one of our school values. And we have also we have a Black Studies Academy. It is the second academy or department like it at a public high school in America. There's another one in like Berkeley, California, that was started by a Black Panther Party member in like 1969, I want to say. But we have a Black Studies department now, and that was something I'm proud to be a part of because, again, like it's really important that we are like acknowledging our history. And so thank you so much, Sankofa, for partnering with us. Sankofa has been a partner with Dunbar for like many years, a partner for the Black Studies Academy and just a partner for the school. When I was talking to my dad about some of the events coming up, he mentioned wanting to do a youth event, and I was like, yes, this is perfect. So I'm really grateful to have some of my 10th grade students here. I want to give them love and shout out because today is, yes, today is prom at our school. So shortly after this, My sister's going to help me get dressed. I got to go work the prom, but a lot of students had an interest in doing this. But it was just a really difficult day because it's a prom and there's prom send-offs and cousins and, all types of things going on today. So thank you to our lovely ladies who showed up today despite that all. And I'm excited for everyone to experience the pieces that they've worked on over the last week or so. So with that being said, I am going to, the way this is going to work is we actually have 7 different pieces that we're all going to get to experience. I'll introduce each student. They'll come up and just tell us a little bit about the piece that they created. And we'll just continue to go through that. And I'm excited. So thank you everyone for joining us. And the first person we're actually going to hear from is one of my sophomores, Heaven. Heaven has a speech that she has written, an original speech that she has written. So let's all welcome Heaven to the stage.
Hi everybody, my name is Heaven Robinson. I attend Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School, and today we come together to celebrate the life and legacy of a powerful and transformative figure in American history, Malcolm X. Born a little on May 19, 1925 in Nahum, Nebraska, he rose prominence as one of the most compelling voices in the relentless fights for civil rights and social justice. His journey from hardship to advocacy showcases his resilience and conviction. Malcolm X's early life was marked by significant challenges. He faced racial discrimination and personal tragedies, including his suspicious murder of his father while trying to help his mom with financial troubles. These experiences forged his worldview and ignited his determination to confront systematic oppression head-on. In the 1940s, Malcolm X's life had changed dramatically when he joined the Nation of Islam while in prison. With guidance from Elijah Muhammad, he took one of the names Malcolm X. This name symbolized his rejection of a slave surname and embraced a new identity focused on empowerment and self-determination. As a dedicated minister and spokesperson, Malcolm X became famous for his strong speeches and a firm stance against racism. Though his life was tragically cut short in 1965, the impact of Malcolm X endures. He helped shape our present and future by encouraging critical thought, fostering open dialogue, and advocating fiercely for equality. His teachings remind us that struggles for justice demands courage, resilience, and an unshakable belief in possibility of change. Today, we honor Malcolm X, so let us embrace his legacy and work toward the future where equality and justice prevail. We should remember his powerful words, bold vision, and enduring spirit as we strive together to create a brighter and more inclusive world for everybody. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Heaven. I was really appreciated how you gave us those reminders, which I think are really important for us to remember every day, especially in this current climate that we are living in. That resilience, remembrance, all of those things. So thank you for that. Next up, we are going to hear from none other than Sanaya. So come on up, Sanaya. Sanaya is going to bless us with a poem that she wrote as well.
Hi, my name is Sanaya Mosey, and I chose to honor Malcolm X through poetry because his words weren't just speeches. They were emotion, movement, and truth. Poetry gives me a way to express that fire in a way that feels real to me. Malcolm X wasn't afraid to speak up, even when it made people feel uncomfortable. And this piece reflects that same spirit. Because it's not just about remembering him, it's about I did this piece called He Spoke So I Speak. They say remember Malcolm X like he was just a chapter in a book, but his voice was a match, and the world still burns where he once stood. He wasn't just a name, he was a fire in a suit, eyes like storms, a man who walked into a room like they owed him answers, rage with reason, truth in motion, black without apology. He didn't beg for peace, he stood in it. Shoulders square, voice slicing through silence. like a blade made of justice. They feared how loud his silence was. Even when he paused, truth echoed off the walls. He said, be peaceful, be courteous, obey the law, respect everyone. But if someone put his hands on you, send them to the cemetery. That wasn't hate. That was history. That was protection. That was power. He was drawing a line between survival and surrender. I feel that heat. The why are we still fighting? The how are we still dying? Marches feel like deja vu. Sore feet and cracked voices spinning in place. But Malcolm wasn't magic. He was human, flawed, focused, fed up, just like us. He didn't wait for justice. He chased it. Didn't whisper truth. He threw it, hard, like bricks through stained glass comfort. So don't just remember Malcolm, reflect him. Be the smoke they can't contain. Be the mirror they can't ignore. Live loud, love black, walk sharp. He spoke, so I speak, because I don't carry his memory, I carry his mission. Thank you for listening, and I hope this piece reminded you that Malcolm wasn't just part of the past. He's a voice that we still need today. His message lives in how we speak, how we fight for justice, and how we speak up for each other. Thank you.
That was a very beautiful piece. Thank you for you too for those reminders. We needed to hear, and I think for me, hearing you from the first time you recited that poem to like this time hearing you, I could just hear, that you really are embodied those words, and so that was really beautiful. Let's give her another hand. It's amazing. All right, so next up we have Ariana. I want to give Ariana some love because she came in initially today as a supporter of her peers, but as she heard her peers going through their process, she said, you know what, I'm going to do something too. So come on up, Ariana, and tell us a little bit about what you're going to do.
Hi, I'm Ariana. I go to Dunbar High School, and today I would like to do an intergenerational interview with my AP Miss Grima right here, and yeah, that's what I have today. Okay, first question. Who is Malcolm X to you?
Okay, all right. Oh, we got two mics.
Thank you.
So yeah, I think to me, I love that question because depending on when you asked it, I feel like I would have a different answer, right? So today in this season, one of the quotes that I think about as an AP, your AP, was one of Malcolm X's quotes that I shared with our teachers last week in our weekly email. It was actually his birthday week, so I think that was the week before last at this point. But I shared this quote that Malcolm X had, which was only a fool would let, it's like only a fool would let an enemy teach his children, something along those lines, right? So for me, like that quote really just kind of stood out to me because it isn't like as an educator, I have a really important job of making sure that every day, every decision, every moment, I am doing what is best for you all, right? And it's not always easy because even as a parent myself, sometimes you're not sure what the best decision is. But one of the things I appreciate is that I can always reflect on people like Malcolm X to help guide that decision making, help me figure out like what is best? What would Malcolm think, right? What would Martin think? Like, and I can go down a long list. What would my parents even think, right? And so for me, that is like what I'm thinking about in this season. What about you?
Me, I can't speak for others, but for me, Malcolm X, he was a powerful voice, of course, from all the speeches he has made, and he showed us what we were taught, emotional strongness, like emotional stability. Because most people, they'll have, like, you can say anger issues, like off-balance mentality, but he showed a strong presence for someone with his emotions, Because, you know, like, other people, they'll be like, no violence, no this, no that. But he was like, if you got that right control, you can do it. No matter what you was feeling, no matter what, you can do it. Okay, my second question is, how has Malcolm X's life around How has Malcolm X's message influenced the way you thinking about your identity, justice, and standing up for what you believe in?
Okay, so I think that is a loaded question, but I'm going to go back to one of the things that Malcolm X talked a lot about was the importance of like sense of self, knowing yourself, knowing who you are, where you come from. And I think that for me, that is something that I have worked to do at our school since I've been there. And so for me, it looks like how are we making sure that Black history is taught at our school? How are we making sure that students are learning about people like Malcolm X outside of just Black History Month? Like, how do we incorporate that into everything we do? So as a school, we have been working on making sure that we are incorporating that value of Sankofa by teaching history to our students. We've worked to make sure that we are teaching things that are culturally relevant in the school. And that's still, we have a lot of work to do. I mean, y'all know that because y'all students there, so you guys probably definitely know that we have a lot of work to do. But one of the things that I'm proud of that I do hear a lot of students say is that, like, oh, our school it's like a HBCU. Like, we, like, it's a very Black, unapologetically Black school. And so I'm proud that as a school, I've seen us improve in that way. So to go back to your question, just like, there are a lot of things that I, as I continue to learn more about Malcolm X, that I appreciate about him. But definitely that idea of like sense of self and education being like a tool for the future is something that I think about often. Yeah. And then what would you say to that?
Okay, going back to Dunbar, yes, Dunbar is a very influential school on being yourself and who you are. So I say Malcolm X, his message towards us was to be yourself, be who you are, speak out for injustice. Even if it's difficult, still speak out. Your voice is the most powerful thing you can have, and you don't want that taken away from you.
And I want to add, like, to what you just said, though, like, that's why I really appreciate this space. And I think I was talking to Jordan a little earlier. He's somewhere out there. Oh, there he goes. I have glasses. Okay, side note, I have glasses on.
I can't see.
Because these are prescription. I did not bring a change of glasses for the inside. So that is just wanted y'all to know that. But Jordan and I were talking about how there need to actually be more spaces like this and how we can collaborate to have more opportunities like this for you, because y'all have a lot to say. Yeah, like the young people have a lot to say, but how many spaces do they have to say those things? I think that we like to harp on the crime and everything else that the young people are engaging in, but we need to also be reflective of how many of these spaces we have for them. And so I just wanted to also say that, like, in response to what you just said. So, yeah.
Okay. Why do you think Malcolm X's message appealed to so many people during the civil rights movement?
I think it's like the context of what was happening during that time is really important. And I think that he was very bold and unapologetic, I think, a lot of times in his message. And I think that that was also probably during a time where our people were constantly told we had to speak a certain way, show up a certain way, be courteous to white people, like, all of these ideas. But I think that he kind of presented a more bold, but like a bold message that was needed during that time. Like, and he's not the only one, because we know that we have many people who are ancestors who have always spoke unapologetically and bold. We didn't always get to hear about them, but they were there. But I think that he became a very public figure, and And during that time, people were like, yes, exactly. Like, you know, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're about. And so I think a lot of that, I would say those are some of the things that come to mind for me. Yeah.
Malcolm X, his messages were definitely bold, and I think that's what empathizes on Black pride, self-defense, and he spoke directly with his messages. He spoke directly with anything with injustice, racism, discrimination, everything above. And it was frustrating towards him and his Black community, but he still stuck on what he have said to empathize on his messages. Okay, what do you think people today can learn from Malcolm X's life and his work?
So to me, the first thing I think about is I think we're in an era with like a lot of just fake news and trying to erase history and just a lot of that, especially in this time, right, under this new leadership in the country, you know, under this Trump presidency. So I think to me, he's just a reminder of a lot of things. Just unapologetically speaking the truth, right? Like not allowing the erasing of history to really erase history is one thing. You know, making sure that we are as a community, as parents, as educators, creating the space to tell true history, to challenge the fake news that we're seeing, the narratives that we're seeing, are two things that really come to mind. And I think that in this time, it's probably important that everyone reads the autobiography of Malcolm X, including myself. I need to actually read that book. I have not read it. So I think that that's what comes to mind for me. Like in this modern time, everybody needs to look back at a lot of our ancestors, including Malcolm X, to guide us and get us through this time.
Okay, so people, they can learn to stand up for themselves, speak power, and speak truth, and that will embrace them to see their identity and who they are, because everybody knows history always rewrites itself. So if they don't lose who they are and who their ancestors are, we can withdraw this all the way. Okay, last question. How did Malcolm X's belief about race and justice differ from other leaders at his time?
I think it's kind of similar to what we talked about, you know, a little earlier about. I don't know how many of there were a lot of people with his perspective and ideas, but I don't know that they were publicized during that time. I think hearing that, you know, his bold message, his stance on things, even him like publicly joining the Nation of Islam was like, I think not as known about that time. So those are some things that come to mind for me. What are you thinking?
Okay, what comes to mind when it says unlike other leaders, I say like Martin Luther King Jr. because Malcolm X, he promoted self-defense, being bold with personality, and violence. Not really violence, but you know, standing up for yourself. Other like Martin Luther King Jr., he promoted nonviolence and peace, but sometimes peace and nonviolence ain't gonna cut it. So that's all I have for today. Thank you.
All right. Again, shout out. Thank you, Ariana. We actually, you know, we got to have more conversations like this during the day. We got to find the time. Intergenerational conversations are important. So I hope that our young people here are also like asking these questions to your grandparents, your parents, like all of that, because that's part of preserving history and legacy and culture too. So with that being said, I'm going to have Shauna, one of my amazing, where is Shauna? There she is. Shauna is taking us to the visual world. So Shauna has some art for us. She's going to talk a little bit about it. I know some of y'all seen it back here, so she gonna let us know what we're seeing, okay?
Hello, everyone. My name is Shauna Boone. I go to Dunbar High School here. But before we get started, how is everyone feeling? Are we feeling good so far? I'm glad. All right, so first, I'm hoping you see the pictures, and I hope you're happy with them. So when I first began painting with this idea, I had so many different ideas. However, I just couldn't jot them all down. There were so many different words that came to mind. Constructive, powerful, reasonable but also violence as well. But there were so many words that came around. I just had to write them down in order to get everything out. So we'll start with this painting first on the left. This picture is depicted as Detroit Red. This piece is titled Detroit Red and is raw, abstract, and is a portrait representing Malcolm X before his transformation. It captures his turbulent early life marked by racism, crime, and internal conflict. I used rough textures using sand and paint, sharp shapes, and also deep reds, I don't know if you can see up here, to express the rage and chaos felt within that time period. I used wire and string to symbolize the physical and mental chains that were placed upon him, while also the newspaper fragments around him ground him in society's expectation and perception of him. This portrait is not only of the man he became, and is not of that, but also depicting the fire he had to fight first. All right, so we'll move on to this image, which is a little bit different. This piece is titled El Hajj, and it is a reflection portrait of Malcolm X during his pilgrimage and rebirth. The golden dove and the Roman numeral VI honor his 6 daughters, while the crescent moon speaks to his Islamic faith. Africa rests above his heart on the left side, and kind of represents a symbol of origin and return. Softer tones and floral shapes represent peace, while the blue circles reflect clarity found throughout his pilgrimage. Unlike the rage of the image on the left, Detroit Red, this is a portrait of the man he became, guided by faith, family, and freedom. Thank you.
Thank you. And Shauna, can you let the audience know, when did you start these pieces again?
I started it Friday night at 8 p.m. Last night at 8 p.m.
Can we, like, what? That is talent, okay? Yes. So thank you. These are amazing. And we have more art on the way. So we are going to hear from none other than Ebony. She has, she's going to tell us a little bit about her artwork, how she got there. And yeah. So come on up, Ebony. Do you want me to hold something for you? Or you want me?
No, it's okay. Yes. That right there.
This one? Okay.
Hi, my name is Ebony. I also did a piece of artwork. Well, it was kind of last minute too. Oh, I'm sorry. It was also last minute. Originally, I wanted to do a video, a sort of comedy video, but I never got to it. So I started this, let's say, Friday. I actually started mine Friday, earlier in the morning, and I finished it by Saturday. Basically, I have a small image here, and I'd like y'all, if y'all pass it around, because I wasn't able to get it in poster size, but this is the best I could do. Anyways, I have 3 images of Malcolm X, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of nervous too. I have 3 images of Malcolm X from different speeches, which all hold a little bit of significance to them as well. And I also added an image of a gun because, like Ariana mentioned before, what helped him stand out, promote confidence and resilience and courage, he's not going to let anybody press him. He's not a pushover. So when it came down to defending himself against people who wanted to hurt him, against racists, he was always up to put up a fight. So that's why I added a gun. And also I added one because I saw a gun in a few of his pictures, and at first I didn't know why he had a gun, but I did some research later on and added to my art. But also, I also have a song, which I was listening to it today, and I found some similarities to the song and to what Malcolm X promoted. And the song is called No Weapon. Like I mentioned it before, although he did promote resilience, power, care, he wasn't a pushover. And although people may have came to him with, weapons or hateful words, death threats, no weapon was formed against him. Like, he still managed to do what he had to do and die with memory, that he never gave up. The song is called No Weapon by Fred Hammond, and I like to sing it for you all. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm finished that. Oh wait, the small tiny image? Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry.
worship music for your ministry today.
Said he would do it. Y'all, I was so nervous. I'm so sorry.
All right, so that concludes the presentations that we have, the performances that we have. You okay over there, Ebony? You're back. So I think that one thing I do want to say again is that I am just really proud of our students who were able to put together such beautiful work. And I really do hope to have, actually one of you all said, I think it was Ariana, it was you? Was it you who said this? I think it was Ariana who said that we need to definitely do more events like this. I think you said Black History Month. Was that you? Okay. And it doesn't have to be Black History Month. It could really be at any point. But I'm really proud of seeing how you all were able to take the time to research Malcolm X, to create these pieces. And one of the things that I was really inspired by, actually, need to read. One of the things that I was really inspired by with Malcolm X was that with a lot of his things, he was self-taught in a lot of ways, right? He educated himself a lot while he was imprisoned, and that is something that is a reminder to me and to you all. I hope to continue to be lifelong learners, educate yourselves, no matter where you are. It's something that I was thinking about as well. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Shrikiana Garima. She is one of the co-owners and founders of this space, who's going to talk to us a little bit as well.
Thank you, Nubi. Beautiful presentation. Just, I'm sure that most of the adults in here want to get up and say something wonderful about what you guys have done today and what you represent and what you are going to be doing in your lifetimes. The guts it took to come up here and present your heart is the most wonderful thing to witness for other people. It's the hardest thing for the person doing it to do, but for the rest of us, we just love it because we just see that person blossoming into this wonderful, wonderful, sturdy, secure adult. And this is the trial you got to go through. So you face the fire, and it strengthens you to face the next one. So thank you for sharing those moments with us. We feel really, really, really privileged. And I don't know what else to say except we just, really think that you guys, the whole reason that Malcolm went through what he went through was for y'all and for your kids and your kids' kids. And so this idea of understanding what his work was is real important because it's a tool that will make your life better. It's not because you owe anybody to read his books or his works or critiques against him, or it's cool to know about, details about Malcolm and Martin and Fannie Lou Hamer and the Civil Rights Movement and sharecropping and what they had to overcome. But without it, your life is not going to be as significant as it would be with it. We think about the Bible and how important the Bible is to many of our upbringings. But let's look at the books on these shelves here and think about how they have tools in them that can guide us. And don't shoot me down, but they guide me as much, if not more, than the Bible. And it's not because the Bible's not important. The morality involved in the Bible and the Quran is really critical. The people who have thought and fought through the times that they thought and fought through have provided us tools that we can use, in addition to what you learn, the morals you learn in the Bible and the Quran, to get through the next stage. A lot of stuff that they did. You know, fighting. King was a fighter. They make him look like milk toast. King was a fighter. If you start looking at what King and them did, you're like, dang, we ain't doing nothing now. You know, the people, the so-called black leaders that we have now, if they're, you know, whoever they are, we're not. We don't have the guts that King exemplifies. So looking at that example is really, really important. And that kind of, and Malcolm as well too. And I could name them for hours. And of course the people that are not named are important to read about. This year is the what anniversary of Malcolm? 100th. This year is the 100th anniversary of Patrice Lumumba. If you don't know him, do. Malcolm talked about him a lot. This year is the 100th anniversary of Frantz Fanon, somebody else to read about. And the last one, Jordan? Medgar Evers. Medgar Evers. I mean, it's significant that these people were born around the same time. They were honed by the same hammer that they replaced with their generation. So the Marcus Garvey era, the Reconstruction era, those fights that black people made it through so we can be where we are now, created the next generation of fighters and the next generation of fighters. So use their tools. They're there. You ain't never got to feel like you're out here by yourself. They're there. And so thank you, Dunbar, for having a Black Studies program. Thank you for black bookstores who are standing up saying that Black Studies is really, really, really important. Thank you for black media who says, no, we do have stories to tell and we want to make sure that we hear each other. If we weren't doing these things, or if what we're doing wasn't so important, they wouldn't be trying to erase them. So if you ever think, okay, this is, what is it in here, Black Studies anyway? Why is it so scary just to know your history? It's very scary if that history is going to show you that you're somebody that they say you're not, that you're better than they say you are, and that you have something to do while you're here. You have a lot to do while you're here. And, fashion is cool. That stuff is cool. The butt thing that they do, what is it called? Twerking is all cool. But let's put them in perspective. Let's learn how to, twerk has, if you want to look at some of the African dances that go back way, but, maybe it wasn't done the same way. But, there are roots to some of the things that we do that maybe we should learn about, too. But what is the goal? Will fashion and twerking get us a better life? If it does, let's do it. Let's do it. It's okay. But let's figure out what it takes to get us a better life. And that's going to take a little bit of reading, a lot of reading. A lot of reading, a lot of conversation, a lot of investigating, a lot of questioning, a lot of interviewing, a lot of singing. Boop, boop. Psst. A lot of singing. So I think we have a gift. And it would be wonderful if they could come up and receive their gift. You call their names and we could take a group picture.
Absolutely. So I would like to say that I told you all I started as a classroom teacher. One of the things that that you inspired me to do while I was a classroom teacher at Dunbar was to tell my students who are in Black Studies that every black person needed to have a library. That was one of the things I haven't taught in a few years, but when I did, they students in my class, they knew that I was expecting them to build a library, and because of that, we formed a partnership actually with Sankofa, where Sankofa was able to give us books for $5, and I required every student to buy the books we were reading in my class. And that was like you all providing the books. I think not even at cost, but discounted, because you guys were like, contributing some so students can build their libraries. So students who were in my class throughout the scope of taking all of the Black Studies classes that they needed to, they would end up having at least 6 books that we read throughout all the classes they took. And that was like their mini library that they built. So I say that to say, while I'm not the Academy Director of Black Studies anymore, I am not a teacher anymore, I'm really grateful that I can still encourage my young people to build a library. So in that vein, I did purchase a autobiography of Malcolm X book, which I think all of you need to read. If you weren't inspired before, I hope you're inspired now to read this book. I'm going to be reading it with you all so we can talk about it, because I did not actually read this book. I'm not going to lie. I need to read it. Especially as I was reading an excerpt from it earlier today, I did not realize that Malcolm X, for example, was locked up at the age of 17. That was new to me. And for me, I've been an educator now for going on 15 years and a high school educator for 10 years. My heart always breaks when I hear that one of our young people is incarcerated. And as I was reading the excerpt from this book, I was reminded that it is not over when our young people sometimes find themselves incarcerated. That was actually the birth of a lot of what we saw from Malcolm X. He was incarcerated from, I think, 17 to 27. So during those years, he read a lot. And that's where he formed a lot of those ideas, those brilliant ideas that we all talk about today and admire today, was during that time. And for me, it was just the perfect time for me to learn about that because, like I said, as an educator, a high school educator, it just wears on you when you see your students, making decisions, getting incarcerated. And I was feeling like it was over. Like it was kind of like, well, another one, But that excerpt from here helped remind me that it's not over for those students. And it actually inspired me to maybe send them the book. So I'm going to start working. That's going to be one of my summer projects. Anybody who knows me, I got like 10 summer projects. One of my summer projects is to send the book to some of our students who are incarcerated now, because it is not over for them. And so, yes. So with all that being said, can I have my lovely students come up here for your book, because you're building your library today. If you don't have a library, you're going to build your library today. So Ariana, here is your book. And we have Shauna, here's your book. We going to all start reading our books together. We going to start, come by my office for a little book club conversation. Somebody else want to be in the book club? Okay, so you can go to the back and you can purchase the books for $9.95. You want to be in the book club conversation? And hold on, I need one more. Wait, here it is. Oh, thank God. Okay, so here y'all have y'all books. A great summer read. What else better time to do it than the summer for you all to read those books? That is a gift from me to you. I actually want to write a message in those books, so I'm going to do that at some point as well. But here's to you all building your library, okay? And my dad also got me a book, so I'll be reading this one as well. I'll take my picture with this. You were shaking. All right, thank you guys. And I think we're going to have some closing remarks. So you all had the pleasure of meeting Shrikiana Aina Garima. And I did introduce her as one of the co-owners of Sankova Video and Bookstore. I'm going to also introduce my dad, who is the other co-owner, and he's going to close us out with some remarks. So everybody welcome Haile Garima to the stage.
So anyway, thank you so much. You young, I'm telling you, you young folks just devastated me. We've been the whole month celebrating Malcolm, and you guys did the toppings. And it was very emotional for me, and I was just made hopeful, seriously. It has been said, the time is bad, but you guys are just uplifting. And warriors, you are warriors, seriously. And I was sitting there saying, I can't wait to see you in college. And I always have told her, you know, I taught at Howard 43 years. I'll never forget those years, raising them. And I always was I was amazed how high school teachers survive, because I think it's the hardest place to teach. College is a joke. Everybody comes there knowing what they want. And for me, I have admired Nubia so much, how she struggled, how she's devoted. You know, it's amazing. And for me, you know, I raised them under, well, I should say we, so my wife don't beat me up. We raised them at the foot of Malcolm X's big poster. They didn't have their own poster. I said, this is our house, and they're going to live in and out looking at Malcolm, staring at them. And the other one was Lumumba, because I consider the two people, they are twins from different parents. Their history, when you study, you will know they're twins. Their devotion, commitment, and love for African people is amazing. So I call it the twins. They grew up under their poster, big poster I used when I made a film at UCLA. It was my props for my film, and they grew up looking at that picture. They didn't have their own whatever they were into. Their hip hop poster didn't come into my house. I just raised them under my poster. And my wife also, our books, our bookshelves, when we got married, all we brought to each other's table was books and records. They grew up with that. And so I'm really proud, Nubia, seriously. One, the caliber of these kids is amazing. Amazing. Yeah. And I see also the ups and downs you go through. For some of the young people, we lose in death and incarceration. I know how much it affects you, but I think this should recharge your battery. These young people are just amazing. I was just impressed. The poetry, the speech, the consciousness, and the art. In 3-4 days, you deliver this. My goodness, you guys are really something. And so I'm grateful you came to Sankofa. We're blessed with your spirit and presence. And we're going to go forward struggling, resisting, as Malcolm did. Thank you so much, my sister.
And I didn't want this moment to end without thanking our parents that are here in the space to support their young people. Can we show our parents some love for coming here on this Saturday night? Listen. There. So, yes, yep, we got godmom, mom, grandmom. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. So with that being said, we're done. Thank you guys. Thank you to the audience for joining us. And I hope everyone enjoys their evening. Thank you. Yes.
In the name of
All right,
Allah,
we're
the
done.
beneficent, the merciful, to whom all praise is due, whom we forever thank for giving us the Honorable Elijah Muhammad as our leader, teacher, and guide. And I specifically, ladies and gentlemen, and brothers and sisters, open up like that because I am a representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And were it not for him, you and I wouldn't be.
Today our people can see that we're faced with a government conspiracy. This government has failed us. The senators who are filibustering concerning your and my rights, that's the government. Don't say it's Southern senators, this is the government. This is a government filibuster. It's not a segregationist filibuster. It's a government filibuster. Any kind of activity that takes place on the floor of the Congress or the Senate, that's the government. Any kind of dilly-dallying, that's the government. Any kind of pussyfooting, that's the government.